So you're looking to gain weight. You've read things, you've tried things, you listened to a guy who heard from a guy who heard from a guy, you've researched these enhancers, and you did things that you aren't so proud of. It's okay. I've been in that mindset too. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you are underweight and you've been called skinny your whole life. It's all good because I'm going to give you 3 things that will help you gain weight in a natural way. All it's going to take is a different approach and a little bit more time than what you're used to, because there's levels to this. There's a method that you have to follow and you can do it. It's achievable. You take one look at me and you see that I have a body type that is an ectomorph. I'm naturally more slender and it looks like I fill out and I have all this space to put my weight, but that's not the case and it's not that easy. So before I get started in telling you how you can achieve this goal that you set out for yourself, you want to gain weight for a health reason. You want to build more muscle because that's what you're going to do. You want to gain weight for a healthy reason. You want to gain that weight in a healthy way. You don't have to take supplements. You don't have to go to clinics and try out enhancers. You don't have to do any of that. There is an approach that you can take that is just going to take just a little bit more work, but it's good for it because you turn that extra work into a lifestyle and now you are living how you want to live and now you're in your comfortable skin. You feel comfortable in your own skin. So I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory. My body type, ectomorph. I've always been skinny and I'm tall. So my weight distributes differently than somebody who's shorter or who has a different body type, which is fine. But the 3 main things to consider when you are gaining weight are the calories that you eat, your nutrition, and your plan. The first 2 are going to go hand in hand. I'm going to get to those first. We'll talk about the planning a little bit later. But calories. I want to explain this to you in the most simple way. Calories. Simply put, calories are energy. Think of calories as a token that you give yourself for energy. If you don't get these tokens, then the game or the vehicle is not going to move effectively. It's still going to move, but it's not going to move how you want it to. So everybody has a set calorie range that is recommended for them to maintain life. For an example, say your recommended calorie intake is 1,200 calories. You eat 1,200 calories. Good job. You're eating just to maintain your body's processes. So you're going to maintain your weight. If you eat below that, you're going to lose your weight. If you eat above that, you're going to gain your weight. But this is where it gets tricky because then the nutrition comes in. When you have these nutrient dense foods, the foods that you need to Google, you need to research what nutrient dense means if you don't know, but you have these nutrient dense foods. You can have a lot of these nutrient dense foods, but you're going to have to eat a lot of calories. It's going to seem like a lot of work, but you will get into a mode. So the nutrition is key because you can have, I had 2,300 calories, and this is just an example. I had 2,300 calories, right? But what kind of calories were they? Were all of these calories healthy? Were they good for you? Or were they things like processed foods, chips, cookies, things like that, right? So that's where the nutrition comes into hand. So now we need to dig in a little bit deeper. So we've covered that the first step that you want to consider / take is the calories. Your body is always running. It does not take a break. It needs calories for energy. Even while you're sleeping, even while you're sitting or whatever you're doing right now, watching this video, your body is burning calories. So you need to put the energy back in because it does not matter if you exercise or if you take a walk or take a run or go play, your body is still going to be burning calories. So with that being said, your calorie intake needs to be above your recommended amount that's going to maintain your weight. Because you eat right here in this range in maintaining your weight, you're going to maintain your weight. And in your case, you're going to keep the same physique. Now, if you're looking to gain weight, you're going to eat more than that. So for an example, we use an example of 1,200 calories, right? If you bump it up and have 2,000 calories, you have no choice but to gain weight, or your body can, depending on what type of things that you're doing, your body can use that energy in a different way. But that's a whole different video. So let's focus on the calories. It's a simple input, output type of deal. If you understand that, we're going to move on to the next part of the video. If you don't, go ahead and rewind it and put in the comments, Coach, you're not making any sense, which is fine. You can rewatch it again, or I can make another video or a short about it. So now we're moving on to the next part. The next part is the nutrition. In simple terms, you need carbs, protein, fat. Those are macronutrients, and you need micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals, all your vitamins. So in your nutrients, you need to eat foods that are going to help you towards your goal. I spoke about earlier about those foods that you'll get the calories. This is high calories, but what are they doing to your insides? Okay, because you can gain weight, it just may not be as flattering as you want it to be, and you'll gain weight in the form of fat, which is not necessarily a bad thing when you look at it from a survival standpoint of the body, because when you eat things, the body will store that fat, right? And fat is a form of energy because it's calories, and the body is just holding on to it for a rainy day, holding on to it for survival. But you're already where you want to be, but you're trying to get to a different place. So you don't want to go down that road. So you have to eat healthy, and healthy eating is different for everybody, but you have to eat this nutrient dense food, high in nutrients. Look on the back of those processed foods and see what type of nutrients they give you. See what type of health claims are on those packages. You'll see. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our third and final point / thing to consider, and that is a plan. You have to have a plan. It takes a lot of discipline to gain that weight, just like it takes a lot of discipline to lose weight. But this is a gaining video, so we're going to stick to the gains. In gaining that weight, you must create a plan that you go on and that you stay disciplined to stay on. So an example of a plan will look like you making sure that you map out breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. Now, with that plan also comes in resistance training, because you want to gain weight the healthy way. And a healthy way to gain weight is adding muscle. Muscle is a little bit more flattering, right? We need muscle to survive. We need muscle to move our body. So resistance training, lifting weight, is going to help you gain muscle, right? That's where the nutrition comes into the story, because you have the nutrition, right? You're feeding your body good fuel that it's using and is utilizing your resistance training, right? You're lifting weight. Now, after you get done lifting, you make sure you get something to eat to thank your body for what it did. You get you some rest, and then guess what happens? You'll be a little sore. You will, but guess what happens? The muscle rebuilds itself. Little microscopic tears happen when you're lifting weight, right? But don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. In fact, I want you to find exercises that you like and keep doing them. Do them for a month. Do them for 2 months. Do them for 6 months. Do it for a whole year. You have to stay consistent, and you have to have a plan made, right? You cannot tell me that if you don't try this plan, if you don't eat healthy, and if you don't exercise, and if you don't stick to your plan, you'll look like a totally different person after 2 weeks, after 2 months, after a year, after 2 years. It's going to happen, because that's what the body does. It is a mean green survival machine, right? It will survive. We know it will survive. But if you have this goal of gaining weight, you have to put your body in the environment to gain the weight. So you're watching this video because you're having a hard time in gaining the weight, right? And I'm going to bring it all together. You're having a hard time gaining the weight, right? Your metabolism's fast. Whatever you eat, it doesn't go anywhere. You can just eat. That's okay. Get in the weight room. Get you some weight. Go high reps. Make a plan. Stay consistent with it. And you will see a difference. It sounds simple in this video, but it's really hard. I'll be honest, it's difficult because now I want to go in, I want to give an antidote about my life. I've always been slender. I've always been what they call skinny. But right towards the end of high school and when I got into college, I began to put on more weight. And this is what I thought was healthy weight. I gained lots of muscle. But as I'm looking back at it, I was not eating nutritious. The freshman 15 was real. I was gaining weight and I was excited because, oh, I'm no longer under 200 pounds now, right? I'm gaining weight. And of course, in college, I played sports, I played basketball, and of course we did weights. We lifted weights every day. So I'm gaining weight, I'm making gains, but I now know in hindsight that that is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be like this, like my form that I am now, but it just took me going through it. And there was a time during the pandemic where I was nearly 250 pounds. I couldn't fit into my jeans and I wanted to experiment. The world was shut down. So what would it matter if I stopped exercising for a little bit? I had been exercising my whole life. I had been training my whole life. My mindset at the time was, I'm going to let myself go. And then I'm going to get in shape and then I'm going to tell the story. And I did just that. So I took a hiatus. I took a hiatus from all social media. That was my time. I had not known what it felt like just to be and just live, as they say, right? I was not the form that you see today. It took work. I have been through both portions of the want scale, from wanting to gain weight and wanting to lose weight, right? So in closing, it's easy for some people. They're just genetically wired in a different way. They have a different body type, right? It's easier for some, but that does not mean that has to stop you from trying, doing your trial and error and figuring out what works for you, because health is like clothes. There's no one size fit all. You have to figure out which styles work for you. And that's up to you to figure out. And no one else can figure that out for you but you. So you figure that out. Take the time to figure that out. And the three things that we talked about in this video: nutrition, calories, and a plan. You do those three things, it will be almost impossible for your body to stay the same. Because when you're disciplined and you stick with it and you keep going, you're transforming. But don't take my word for it. Don't you dare take my word for it. I'm just a talking face on the screen. Try it for yourself. Make the plan. Get the calories. Make sure you're eating nutritious food and see for yourself. You can do it. Everyone else is doing it and you can be natty with it. You can be 100% natural. Yes, you can do it. So I want you to try it. And if you feel hype and if you feel fired up, because I'm getting fired up just talking about it. If you feel hype and fired up talking about it, put a fire in the comments and say, I'm getting started. I'm starting today. Stop waiting on the 1st of January. Stop waiting until the next week. Get started now. There is so much that you could be doing. Get started. Start listening to podcasts. Start watching YouTube. Start getting in the places where you want to be. Like, you want to gain weight? Get a gym membership. Go get some stuff to work out with. Surround yourself with the people that you want to be. Like, you want to look like this? Oh, I'm definitely going. I'm asking him or her, hey, how'd you get here? I'm trying to get there. You have to become a professional in your health. That's the only way you're going to be able to achieve your goals. I'm going to stop now because I know how I get, but I'm going to stop now, and I just want to empower you. So good luck. I hope this helped. If it didn't, tell me in the comments, but I'm sure it'll help once you get started. So have a good day. Thank you for watching.